Alright guys, timing marks. Up on the two camshaft pulleys, you will see a sign that says up, up. In the middle, these two will meet, alright? In the bottom, on the crank pulley, you will see a mark like that, right next to that little key. Straight mark. And on the block, the oil pump, you see it says mark, oil pump. There's like a little triangle looking arrow pointing downwards. So we have to make these two meet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn everything. Alright, we're gonna turn the whole crank. We're gonna put the bolt back in here. We're gonna turn this. We're gonna line the marks top and bottom, right? And then we're gonna remove the belt and then the water pump, alright? So let's do that first. Let's line the markings and let's set everything up. Alright guys, let's look at this, alright? So remove this little guy right here. Make sure you put it back the same way, not this way, the same way you took it off, alright? And let's put this to the side. Alright. So the little notch we were seeing is right there, right? And it's a triangle all the way up there, guys, right there. Let me bring the light and the camera closer. So you see the little notch and the triangle all the way in the back. We're gonna line those two. And let me bring the car down and we're gonna turn everything, all right guys? So let me bring the car down and we'll check on the top, what we have on the top. All right guys, right up here, as you can see, right there you have the sign that says up, and same thing there. All right, and right here you have a small little notch. See the small little notch right there? And then there should be one more notch right there. I'll keep blocking my light every time I try to point the finger. All right, let me just make my light stand here. So we have a notch right there, and we have a notch right there. So this pulley needs to come forward a little bit this way, and this will go down. And this one will go forward a little bit, and this will come up, and these two will meet, and these two will be up, and hopefully the bottom one will be aligned. So not a big turn we have to do here, guys. So let me gather my tools and we're gonna turn this thing. All right guys, so I'm gonna take this long extension with the ratchet in the bottom. I'm gonna put the bolt on, the number 19 into the crank pulley, and I'm gonna turn this gently, all right? And everything should align, and it's not even too far, right guys? That looks about right. If you have something straight will indicate it right there, guys. Right? So this pulley's up, this is up, and these two are aligned. All right, guys? So we have our pistons top dead center, all right? We're gonna go down there. We're gonna look at the bottom pulley as well. Alright guys, before we do that, alright, let's look at it, because I was thinking about dropping the engine mount, but let's not do that. Let's look down here, alright guys? So there we have it. Our notch is aligned right with the arrow, right? Perfect. It's just perfect. Leave that bolt on there. You don't have to remove it anytime soon. But let's go. And what we're gonna do next is we are gonna wait for the timing belt. Alright guys, we was gonna wait for the timing belt, but let's not wait for the timing belt because we need to have this loose. Then we're gonna remove the engine mount, pull out this belt, drop in the new belt, lock up the engine mount, and then we could put on the belt later on. Anyways, time to release the tension, and this is the tensioner right there. So to release the tension, all you need to do is you're gonna turn this little guy right here Alright guys, just loosen that one bolt right there in the center, and you should be able to pull down on the tensioner, the spring right now. So what I'll do is I'll go get a pick or something and I'll pull down on that. Alright guys, I went and got me my little pick here. So two things. One, pull down on the tensioner just like that. Two, when you have it down, tighten the tensioner and lock it in position. Alright guys, so it cannot move back up. Alright, after that you should be able to remove this belt off one of the pulleys. Let me do a little bit more because I don't think that's enough. I need more force. You know, if I had another person with me, it would have been much easier. So try to get help, guys. Alright, you always need help. Or what you can do is, let's just do it this way, guys. Let's remove the spring from the top. Alright, even that's gonna be a little complicated. But anyways, let's just try to yank this little guy down as much as we can, and that's the farthest it goes. I'm sure there's like a little retainer in the back. There's like a little thing back here. So let's just loosen this bolt. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's like a little thing in the back which is holding everything in a position. Alright guys, I need to work this. I'm gonna move my camera out of the way and I'll come back and show you guys. Alright guys, been working on this. Alright, need to slip this belt off. This pulley is giving me a hard time, but I took off the spring and I should be able to remove this belt right off this pulley right here. The tensioner, it stops right there because this bolt right here stops it on the oil pump. But anyways, it's coming down, guys, and I'm sure I'm gonna be able to remove this little guy within seconds. Weird. Alright guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this tensioner completely because it's not giving me any slack on that belt. It's completely loose, but it's still not giving me enough slack, but I'm sure I should be able to get it out. I've done it before. You guys can completely remove this tensioner and you can always put it back the same way. Alright guys, so this is a 14 bolt, 14 millimeter. And that's the farthest the tensioner is gonna go, right? Pretty much this job is almost complete, guys. Only complete after that you have to reverse the procedure to put everything back together. Alright, there you go, guys. So to put it back, just put it back up just like that, and that's it. This little ear goes into that little Adobe right there, and this side you have a spring goes into this hole right here. Alright, and I make sure you don't lose the spring. I spoke to the customer about the crank pulley seal. He doesn't want to do that, and it's not too much of a labor. I probably was going to charge him 60 bucks. Told him about the tensioner. He didn't want to do that. But anyway, guys, we have the belt loose, and we can just remove this belt completely. Just be careful on this side. You have this little bracket here which holds in this crank sensor. You can remove it if you want to make it easy for the belt to come out. But guys, there I have it, and it should come out. all right, and the timing should not jump because we lined it perfectly. If it does jump, pay attention to it. All right, guys, so next step, we're gonna remove that water pump. All right, the water pump, this bolt's supposed to be part of the cover, but that bolt's been broken, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, I believe so. All right, guys, so there is antifreeze in there, so make sure you have your bucket down below so you can catch the antifreeze, and just be on the safe side. Put it before you even take any of the bolts out. Alright, guys, so first I'm gonna get rid of this little guy right here, part of the timing cover. Been broken, been gone, doesn't need it to be there no more. So let's get rid of that little guy. Alright, put that to the side. Next, what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna remove 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3 bolt, and I believe there's one over there. I'm gonna need a deep socket. So to start off, I am gonna loosen them all. Alright, so that's 1 loose, that's 2, and it's loose, 3, it's loose. Alright, guys, let me go get a deep socket. Alright, as you can see, guys, the antifreeze already started to come out of that pump, but we need to remove the rest of the bolts so it can leak out more. Make sure you have a bucket down below like I have. And there's 1 more bolt up there, guys. I'm gonna have to find that one. Alright, there I have my socket on that last bolt, and I have the little guy loose. Alright, now the pump is gonna start to drip more. You see that? It started to drip more. Don't just remove it completely, guys. Let it drip out. Let it come out on its own. That will prevent a big leakage on the floor, big mess, puddle. So keep these bolts in order, because I'm sure they're different sizes, or at least one is different size. I could be wrong, but I've done a lot of these in the past, and this is the first time I'm making a video on. But there's one of my bolts. Alright, I'm gonna take this one out of here also. You're gonna get coolant on your hand. It's gonna start to get slippery. Don't worry about it. Just keep a rag near you. And there goes my socket. Definitely gonna need a rag at this time. I know I have a rag near me. Here it is. Alright, wiping the socket down, and then going back up to remove this bolt. Alright, guys, there you go. Bolt is out. Same size. Now this one's a little longer. Alright, guys, keep them in order. Next, I'm gonna take off this little guy right here. Not so easy to come out. Let me put my ratchet back on. And it's running out. Looks good. It looked like Niagara Falls, just green. Alright guys, that bolt is tough. It's been there for so long, it's a little rusted, and the guy who worked for me put silicone on it because he did do that pump before. I'm gonna just keep going with this ratchet. Let me see if I can put directly my hand on that bolt now. There you go. Almost out. That silicone on there is making it tough. There's gonna be no silicone this time. There's another bolt, guys. Number 3. That's the same as the one I took off from right there. So we got 2 bolts left. One is right here, which is very easy to get to. I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm gonna get the one on the top out first. Alright, I gotta find that sock bolt. Where's that? There it is. There you go, antifreeze coming down. There it is, guys. Changing the water pump on this Acura Integra. And at this point, just let it drip out. Don't do anything, guys. If you need to pry a little bit, and let just antifreeze come down. And I'm gonna walk away now, and we'll come back after 10 minutes once it's done draining. All right, guys. So most of the antifreeze came out, and now we can keep going and remove the rest of the bolt. So I'm gonna get to that top bolt first, which is not gonna come out so easy. So I'll use my ratchet, find the spot where it's at. Right there I have it, and I'll just turn till it comes out. Guys, it's turning a little bit by hand, but still it needs the ratchet. Why, bolt? Why? Just come out. Using a silicone is a terrible idea, guys. If you don't need to use silicone, don't use the silicone. Guy that worked with me always gives it extra protection, but this pump leaks from the seals, from the bearing seal. So right now that silicone is just making everything just so difficult for that bolt to come out. Alright guys, let me get this bolt out because I'm struggling for the length of my arm to reach out there. So I'm gonna put the camera away and I'll come back once I have that bolt out. Alright guys, I got that bolt loose. And it's almost out. Now I can turn it by hand. And here it comes, guys. Look at that bolt. It's all corroded. But I'm gonna put it right here. Alright, we got one last bolt left right over here. Let's see if I can get it out by hand. There you go, it's coming out. Pretty loose, guys. I don't need any socket anymore to put on that. And I am gonna put a socket. It's hurting my finger. Alright. It's almost out, guys. Almost. A couple of more threads. And the pump is out of here. Alright, got the bolt and the pump coming down together. There's the bolt and there's the pump, guys. And there it is, alright? So, this pump leaks from right there, right? That little hole, it was leaking all around. So pretty much the seal gave up on this pump. But anyways, we got a new pump. We're gonna put that in. Before you put the pump in, guys, take a blade and clean the whole surface. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just scrape all that and clean the heck out of that surface. So guys, I'm gonna show you simply. Take the blade and scrape all that material off, alright? And that's it, alright? Keep doing that, clean it off. Alright, I'm not gonna be showing you how to clean this whole thing, but just to give you an idea, take a blade and just scrape everything off, right? And then we'll come right back once you have clean and I have the surface clean, and we'll put the pump in together. Alright guys, as you can see, I got the housing of the pump where the pump is gonna sit on the block, nice and clean, alright? You can wipe it down using a parts cleaner, which is a brake cleaner, it's up to you. But anyways, pump is out. And guys, I got my new pump here. I'm gonna take this seal. You're gonna put the seal on the pump. Alright, make sure you put it the correct way. And it has a little grooves in there. You stick in the seal. Don't put any silicone. You don't need to put anything in there. It's gonna hold this off, guys, alright? So simple, it's just gonna hold itself in there. You see that seal held itself. So just have one of your bolts ready so you can stick it in there, alright? So pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of my bolts and I'm gonna just have it ready just like that. And what I'll do is pay attention to the seal, it doesn't fall out. Just take your water pump. Well, let me take over the bolt so that way it's not gonna fall out. Take your water pump, get it in position. Once you have it in the correct spot, you could let it go slowly. Take your little bolt, lift it up, and catch a couple of threads. Make sure you catch the threads by hand, guys. Don't just put in all the, use a ratchet, because you can damage the threads there. And there's no fix there, guys. It's a very tight spot. So use the bolts in order, right? Whatever bolt you took off from wherever, that's where it goes, right? Nowhere else. And this one was up here. That was the longest bolt I took off on the top. Alright, there it goes. Caught a couple of threads. And then I got one more bolt, which I left behind with the old water pump. And that one goes right here, guys, alright? Catch the threads by hand. And there we have it, guys. Alright, next it's time to tighten all these bolts. To tighten these bolts, make sure you tighten them in an order where it's gonna press the gasket in together. So I'll tighten this, that, crisscross it, alright? Just simply crisscross. I got this ratchet, guys, no gears in it. It has a bearing inside which locks as it goes reverse. I mean, it locks as it goes forward, so there's no teeth since this is silent. Almost in there, guys. That bolt is just too free. So try to snug all the bolts in first, guys. And if you can't snug it, then use a ratchet. Like I cannot snug any of these. I'm gonna have to put the ratchet in. Alright, so there it goes. Takes quite a bit of time, but gotta stick with it. And that one's snugged. And now I'm gonna try to get the one on the top. Alright, I need a longer socket. I'm having difficulty because the camera is sitting right in the center. This bolt, you could get it easy from the top, guys, but I'm not gonna bring the car down just to tighten this bolt. You can just fish it blindly, get it out and get it in. Simple. Alright guys, let me snug all these bolts and I'll come back and we'll tighten it together. Alright guys, I snugged in all the bolts, so it's time to tighten these bolts. You're gonna see I have a long ratchet, but don't give it that much force, alright? So tighten these in a crisscross pattern. So use a crisscross pattern. So pretty much the socket will be snugged in. I mean, not the socket, the gasket will be snugged in evenly. Alright. So I got this one. I'm gonna give it another touch to this guy right here. Let me straighten out my ratchet. I'm using this long ratchet so you guys can see. Make sure you torque these bolts, guys. Very critical. I've been doing this for years, so I know how much to tighten these, alright? So there it is. And I'm using this long ratchet so I'm not blocking the camera view. Don't use a long ratchet. That's a lot of leverage there. Alright guys, so I'm done. This pump is tight. I'm gonna just double check. There you go, guys. Let me try to figure that top bolt up. Where's that? That's it, guys. Pump is in. What you need to do next is make sure you blow air on this, clean this up. You're not gonna see on the camera because I don't want my camera to get dirty. Also, I'm gonna bring this car down. I'm gonna put a floor jack right here so I can lift up the engine to remove the mount and insert the new belt. All right. Also, turn this pump. All right. Sometimes the fins, they go too far inside and scrape on the firewall there. So if it's not scraping, you're good. All right. You don't want to do the whole job and then the pump is scraping. All right, guys. So this is done. Let's wait for I'm still waiting for my timing belt, and we'll continue. Alright guys, I removed the engine mount. It had a number 17 bolt here. This is the big one right here. Goes right through the center. And then it had a 14 bolt here with the washer and a nut here, 2 washers on top of that. And the reason why we removed this is because this belt is not going to come out. If you look right there, that engine mount right there is going to block the, put the light here, the belt will not come out. Alright. Also, I removed this cruise control module here. It has a number 10 here, number 10 here, and number 10 here. You can lift this whole thing because this is gonna give you space for the mount to pull out this from the housing. All right. Anyways, so this was the problem. To remove this belt, guys, simple. All right. So there's the old belt. Let me go grab the new belt. We'll throw in the new belt and put the engine mount, and we'll drop the engine back into its spot. Guys, here's the new belt. Always look on this belt if there's any arrow. Sometimes it will point the arrow, meaning the arrow will point that way. All right, so this belt does not have any arrow, and so I'm gonna drop this in, and that's it. We're gonna leave it there, and let me put the engine mount in. Let me come on this side. All right guys, so all I did was throw in the belt. That way we can lock up the engine mount right in there. Right, and then this is the 14 that I took off from right here. So we're gonna have to lift the engine mount up a little bit. All right, this reservoir is just blocking everything. All right, I'm sorry guys, you can't see, but gotta get this bolt in there, and this ABS module is also a trouble. So just lift it up gently and get that bolt in there. All right, there you go. And that's it, guys. All right, that bolt goes there. Remember the washers I told you guys? There's 1 washer, 2 washer, and let me pump up the jack a little bit so we can have that mount come up a little bit more. And these are all number 14, guys. All of them are number 14. So let me pump the jack a little bit more. And that's it. And now I'm gonna grab my gun and I'm gonna tighten all 3 of these bolts with the number 14. And also I'm gonna tighten the number 17. Alright guys, this goes here. There you go, guys. All 3 are tight, and now I'm looking for my number 17, which is all the way down there. I don't know why I left it there, but I left it there. Alright guys. Next, just take your number 17 and tighten that. And that's it, guys. We're done there. Now we can take the jack off and the engine will now move. Alright. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take this module here. That's number 10. All of them. So align them, guys, and catch the threads. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it, guys. All we did was drop the belt in there, right guys? So next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you something that I like to do, guys. First, this little the cam's moved, all right? So you can use an adjustable wrench to bring the cams back to the spot, guys. All right, just like that. All right, and this one went a little bit forward, and I'm gonna fix this up and then I'll show you once we have the belt in there. All right guys, a little trick right here. So I use these 2 wrenches, adjustable wrench and number 28, even though that's a little smaller size, but this is holding it very good, and I locked it out with that vice grip right there. All right guys, so my timing, this little notch is almost perfect. It is perfect, right? This is perfect, this is perfect, there's a notch right there at the end. You can see the little line on the plastic, and it evens out with these. All right, same thing, they're top upright, and guys, this is perfect for me. All right, this is really perfect. I'm gonna just make this one go back a little bit that way. All right, and that's it. And then we'll put the belt on together, guys. So right down here, the belt just goes on itself, and then gently grab it and put it around the pump, and you could just turn, the pump can turn. So there we have it, guys. You have the belt, everything is aligned, and this is when the tensioner goes in, and we're pretty much finished with this, guys. Right, and the tensioner, the big hole goes into that little groove right there, and this is where the spring goes. All right, so let me get this in, guys. Camera is right in front of me, so I'm not gonna be able to reach in there properly, and I'll come back and I'll show you. All right, guys, this is the part that you do need to see, you know. So let me just try to get it in there. Gonna have to struggle a little bit, but I will get it in there. All right, alright guys, trying to get the bolt to catch threads. Very important. Let me reach from back here. Very important to catch these threads. Sorry about the movement, guys, but you do need to see how to get this tensioner in there. So there, guys, I have it in there. So let me grab my 14, because I'm not able to turn it by hand no more. After this, we'll check all of our markings. Alright guys, I'm almost there, and then after that we'll put the spring on. And I'm sure you're wondering how I'm gonna put that spring on. I'm gonna get that spring on, don't worry about it. Just worry more about the lining of the timing. That's the most crucial part, very critical. Alright guys. Guys, this belt needs to be a little bit right there, and that's it. Right now, the spring, guys. Let me put this spring on. And if you're wondering how tight this belt needs to be, guys, this spring right here, it's gonna do it for you. Right? There's pretty much no space on this, alright? There's no slack, no space, no nothing, alright? So pretty much this is gonna do it for you, right? But, alright guys, look. This is not tight yet, alright? The tensioner can still move. right? So what I like to do is I like to just push that little guy. I like to push this guy a little bit and just let it be there, right? This little bit of slack is good for it. You see that how the tensioner comes down and then it goes back up. But I do need to release the wrenches from the top, and that's gonna, if there's any little slack, it will pull it. And after that, we'll make sure, as you can see, the timing on this is perfect. Let me see, my camera can see it. So there's some markings over here and over there, right? So this is good, I like this. And let me bring the car down. All right guys, I got my markings perfect over here. And this can go up a little bit and we will lose this slack on this a little bit. So let me remove these wrenches. Guys, if you're not sure, redo it, all right? This is very critical, all right? So if I just do this, there you go, guys. This is normal, right? It will never jump. That timing will never jump, all right? Plus that tensioner will grab it. And my markings are perfect, right? Perfect, which that's what you call perfect. See how that pulley wants to come back on its own? Because there's no load over here, right? And this can never jump. The timing can never jump here, all right, guys? All right, guys? So let me go down. I'm gonna tighten the tensioner, and that's it. And then put everything back together, guys. Bada bing, bada boom, all right? All right, guys. So there we have it, guys. Timing is done. And the belt is perfect. And what we're gonna do is, I like to just double check the tensioner. It's at where it's supposed to be at. And I'm gonna lock up that tensioner right there, all right, guys? And we're done, guys. From here, guys, I already showed you everything. Just put everything back together, same way you took off. Put that little guy right here. Don't forget this little guy. And make sure you put these curves, it has like an oval to it, and this side is more in, so that's how I took it off, right? Just like that. Put the cover on, put the harmonic balancer on, don't forget that little key that goes there. Put the belts on, crank it up, make sure you put the valve cover on, put everything on, test it. And what you can do, one more thing, is you can turn this several times. Make sure those timing marks come back to the same spot over and over, right? That's how you're gonna test it. But I know mine is correct, and I'll just continue, all right, guys? And thank you, subscribe, and bye-bye. Guys, we got everything back together. Make sure you get your firing order together. I'll put in a new blue gasket, you can see in there. There's a new gasket right in there, you can see. All right, let me lift up my camera a little bit. All right, so new gasket, belts are in, everything is nice and tight. And I'm gonna crank this car up. Oh, this light is bad luck ever since I got it. All right, guys, I'm gonna crank this up and it should come in right away, like no problem. Alright guys, we're done. And only thing left behind is I still have to put antifreeze in there. It was just a test. So that's it. Bada bing, bada boom, good job.